Next question. For those of you who support Proposition 1, what would you do if it does not pass in November and you are elected mayor? For those of you who do not support Proposition 1, what would you do if it does pass in November and you are elected mayor? Sheryl Cole.
I think it is the duty of every mayor to have a vision for the city and contemplate both alternatives that you have set forth. If the proposition does not pass, I think we simply go back to the civic organizations, because we had a lot of collaboration and civic engagement on this subject, and dig deep for why that was. This is like the leadership that I tried to show, or I did show, on the affordable housing bonds. And if the proposition does pass, I will work very hard to make sure that the federal matching funds are there for us to actually do the rail, and also the funds are there to actually do the roads.
Steve Adler.
5 years ago, Austin had the 16th worst traffic congestion in the country. Today, we have the 4th worst traffic congestion in the country. We have to do something, and we have to act. When we go from 2 million people in the MSA, which is what we have today, to 4 million people in the MSA in 25 years, it's hard for me to imagine a system that doesn't have integrated transportation, including rail and roads and trails. But this is also a land planning question. The Texas A&M Traffic Institute looked at the 2035 wish list of all the projects we would do in the city of Austin, and they said if we did them all, and we can't afford to do them all, but if we did them all, in 25 years it takes 3 hours to drive from downtown Austin to Round Rock. This is a problem we cannot ignore. It is a challenge we have to deal with. It is a challenge that is a land planning question as much as it is anything else. In order to fix this, we have to look at how we live and where we live. And we have to move to ideas that are more long-term in scope. It's hard for me to imagine Austin in 25 years that doesn't have a Midtown area or a Galleria area, that kind of thing.
Time is up. Todd Phelps.
Well, if it passes, I'm going to do everything I can to protect Austinites and people from getting pushed out with the affordability crisis, and focus on all of the above traffic solutions, which address bottlenecks and work on intersections that need to be improved with the money they're going to put on this small little train. 21st century technologies like, well, 21st century technologies like Uber and Lyft, rideshare, that Mr. Martinez has been blocking for over a year and a half. When Sidecar tried to come in, he kept it from going to a vote 3 times. That was over a year and a half ago. Right now, he's doing a dog and pony show with the recommendation to the city manager to come back with a recommendation for a possible pilot program. In the last forum, he said, we have franchises to make multi-millions of dollars off of this, referring to the cab companies. He's not allowing them to do business fairly. With the IRS rate, they can't make profits. He's keeping them out of Austin, and we are a progressive technology city. It's wrong.
Time is up. Mike Martinez, you get 30-second rebuttal to that, and then your answer, you're the next to answer also. So 30 seconds first rebuttal.
Great, thank you. First of all, no one council member can preclude anything. It's the entire council acting as a body. Secondly, ride sharing is 100% legal in Austin, Texas. If you want to give someone a ride somewhere, it is 100% legal. It's when you try to change it to a corporation that's a multi-million-dollar corporation that negatively affects affordability and middle-class families that you have to come into our regulatory environment.
All right, and Mike Martinez, your minute answer now.
So if Proposition 1 doesn't pass, here's the beauty of why we get to have this conversation about Proposition 1. It's because we saved Capital Metro from solvency so that we can have this conversation. Should it pass, Cap Metro can take on the ongoing operations and maintenance funding to run the rail system. If it does not pass, we continue the work we've done at Capital Metro, just this week opening the second bus rapid transit line, the 803, and connecting all parts of Austin. I think bus rapid transit has a tremendous and bright future in Austin, Texas. That's exactly what I'll go back to work on should Proposition 1 not pass. But we should also look at roadway improvements. We know that there are major improvements that are necessary along areas like 360 and I-35, and I think we must continue our efforts to maintain those roads and to make improvements.
Randall Stevens.
And the question again, please.
Yes. For those of you who support Proposition 1, what would you do if it does not pass in November if you're elected? For those of you who do not support Proposition 1, what would you do if it does pass in November and you are elected?
Well, I'm predicting it won't pass just because the feedback I'm getting as I go around the city meeting various people in neighborhood associations and groups, and it's just the feedback I'm getting. I believe it's going down in double digits. I don't encourage us not to, I'm not telling people how to vote on it. But if it does pass, I have the skill sets to make it work, to make it happen. If we have the funding, I understand how to flow large projects and talk to engineers. I understand how to work with people who have the technical skills and to pull it off. But I would also, if I were mayor, work with the new council and find out what their consensus is and how much do we want to look at this system and perhaps entertain more than one contractor to submit bids on it. Right now we just have one, and the vice president of project, or the president of Project Connect is a VP with that company, and I have concerns about that. So I want more transparency, I want numbers from more than one source, and I believe that we can cut a fat hog and save some money in building it.